Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. This is my weekly Facebook Live to share Stampin' Up! Projects with you, and I'm so glad that you're joining me this week. Well, as you can see from my tabbed catalog, tonight I'm going to be casing the catalog. This is one of my very favorite things to do. I always love when a new catalog comes out, and not only is there new stuff in the new catalog, but there's also hundreds of new project ideas. And that is one of my favorite parts of a new catalog. Do you guys like to case the catalog? Now, if you're not familiar with the acronym CASE, C-A-S-E, traditionally it means copy and share everything. I like to say copy and selectively edit, because when I'm inspired by the catalog, I'm often inspired to make some changes, make it my own. Maybe I don't have the stamp set that is featured, or maybe I don't have all the same colors or the same paper. And so I always encourage you to case the catalog. All the samples, all the beautiful samples in the catalog are meant to inspire you. So tonight we're going to do some casing. We're not going to make all of them, but I did flag some pages that caught my eye. I'm also going to link up to this document. Stampin' Up! Publishes this whenever there's a new catalog. It's called, I think they call it recipes, but they're not really recipes so much as just a supply list. For all of the samples in the catalog, there is a list of supplies used to make the card. And then sometimes there are some instructions or some, ideas, like some notes about technique. Okay, so I can't promise that you're going to see that for every project, but sometimes they have a little bit more hints. So if you're looking at a project in the catalog and you're just like, how the heck did they make that? Then sometimes you get a little bit more information. So I'm going to link up to this. I call it the July through December mini catalog supply list. And so watch for that link. When we're all done with the video, I'll add it and fill in all the information that you're going to need tonight, including card measurements for the cards that I make. Now, that is something that is not included on the supply list, although I'm seeing some. I'm seeing some measurements here. It is atypical on the supply list. Usually they don't have the measurements. However, I kind of just eyeball it. And so I'll give you the measurements that I'm using, which may not be the same as the original project. Oh my goodness. No, thank you guys so much for sharing. I'm so glad that you're joining tonight. Hello, Maria and Tony and Cynthia. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hi, Robin. Thanks for sharing. Oh, hi, Kay and Sherry and Karen and Carol. I'm so glad that you guys are joining me tonight. So tell me, are there projects in the catalog that have caught your eye? I feel like sometimes I have to look at the catalog like with a different eye, right? So when I was looking through the catalog earlier today, I spied this project in particular, and I thought, I really love the colors, but also I just really love the images. And it made me look again at the stamp set to see like where the little trees and the hearts came from. And so those are actually in this stamp set. And I hadn't really noticed until I looked at the sample. I also really love the layout of this one because those wonderful snowflakes are my favorite. Those are a returning fave from last year, and they're so quick and easy to make beautiful cards. I'm going to grab them. Sorry, I stepped away from the desk for a second so I could grab these and show you. These are some that I had left over from last year, but these are laser cut snowflakes, and we might have to make a quick card with them. Laser cut snowflakes, they have some like iridescent to them, and they're just so much fun. And again, I just love that they're so quick and easy. So these actually, I think, are pictured. Nope, that's the gold holly leaves. These are on another page. And I think I have that page marked. So I'm gonna take a couple of these out, and I think maybe we'll make a quick card with another. I don't really have a plan tonight, guys. Sometimes I have a plan, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't, if I'm being honest. There was so much other stuff going on today that sometimes I just get on and I wing it. I'm really eyeing this one. I think I'm going to show you that one in another video. I love the layout here. I just thought that was really great. And this is not a stamp set that is on my radar at all, but I love the banner with the extra color there and then like the white space. So that's a layout that I'm thinking about. Let's take a look at some more. Oh, here's where the snowflakes are. So if you're looking for these snowflakes, you can find them on page 45 of the July through December 2022 Stampin' Up! Mini Catalog. And I just thought this layout was so fantastic. Just a little square of designer paper with a wonderful snowflake and then a little label. I don't have this stamp set, so I'm going to have to substitute something else. I also really, really love that little pocket with the snowman. I haven't gotten this bundle yet, but it's on my list. I'm loving the color combination on this page. We've got Granny Apple Green, Fresh Freesia, Pool Party, Crumb Cake. I just think the colors are fantastic. So that inspires me too. Sometimes it's the colors that inspire me. Sometimes it's the layout. Oh my gosh, sometimes it is just straight up the stamp set. Look at this gorgeous card. This is actually more the dies than it is the stamp set. And I'm thinking maybe we need to make this one tonight. I don't have it cut, but I feel like we can make this one really easily. This is called Perched in a Tree, and it is a stamp set with coordinating dies. And actually, look at the dies. I know that's not the best picture, but we've got the birch tree and then some leaves and then a branch, and I just feel like that is just so gorgeous. So this is a card that is definitely on my list to case, and maybe we'll make that one tonight. I was looking through the Halloween, and I love those little pockets, but this card kind of caught my eye, and I just got this bundle too, so maybe I'll case that. What I love here is the glitter washi tape. I got the glitter washi tape, and I'm kind of like, what do I do with it? I don't even know. Washi tape is something I don't use a whole lot, and so I just love how it's just sort of like a background there. I love the little sparkle. I love the color that it adds to the black and gray card. I just think it's really clever. This is a layout that really inspires me. In fact, we're going to start tonight with this layout right here. Like I said, a lot of times it's the layout that inspires me. Well, I don't have the Apple Harvest stamp set. What a lovely stamp set though, isn't it? If you love to color, I think this one is just beautiful. We have an apple orchard down the road. I guess it's a couple miles away, but a Curtis Orchard in Champaign, and it is such a lovely place to visit every fall. They open up usually, gosh, around this time, so they might be opening up for the season, usually late July, and they make the best apple donuts. Oh my gosh, now I have to go check and see if they're open so I can get myself some donuts. Well, I don't have this stamp set, but I do have another one. This one, I just got it today. It's called Soft Seedlings, and I love the leaf and the scripty font. Thinking of you is like my favorite sentiment because I feel like it just works for so many different occasions. So we're going to use Soft Seedlings, and we're going to make a card using this layout. Well, copy and selectively edit is exactly what I'm doing because I don't think anything is the same except the layout. I chose some pumpkin pie cardstock for the card base. For the designer paper in the background, I'm using this new pack. This is called Metallic and Shimmer. It's a 6x6 paper pack, and let me show it to you because we have a couple different colors in here. We've got this beautiful fall with the orange and the Cajun craze, and we've got this green with the gold. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. And this black and white with silver. These papers are so gorgeous. They're single-sided, really thin, but just add such a beautiful background to your card. So we're going to use a little piece of that. This is 2 inches by 4.5, I think. I'll double check my measurements before I put them in the video description. Then I have a piece of pale papaya, which is sort of that light orange color in there. And I have, I used the well-worn embossing folder to create the background. And then a white stitched circle. And I'm trying to decide for the sentiment, another little piece of cardstock, and I'm thinking the hello might be the best fit on this card, although I do really like the so grateful as well. So we're going to use this, and we're going to do a little technique to stamp that on our circle and get our card put together. But there you can see my inspiration for this card. So let's get some stamps out. This did just arrive today, so I have not put these stamps together yet. So we're going to just do that really quick, and hopefully everything will turn out exactly as it is in my head. Hopefully it'll turn out even better than it is in my head. we'll start by mounting the sticker on the stamp, and we're also going to do the hello. So let's grab, I'm just grabbing from my bucket over here. I have a whole bunch of different size clear blocks that I'm going to use for stamping. Isn't this a nice set? Soft Seedling. I think it's a really great set for beginners because it's just got a couple images and then some words that you can use for lots of different things. Hello, so grateful for you, thinking of you. Like I said, thinking of you just covers a lot of different occasions. Is this stamp set on your wish list? You guys know, if you've been watching, you know that fall is my favorite season. So the leaf in this set really just was calling to me, and I just thought, I've got to have that. So taking off the paper backing, and I'm going to put the stamp on the table, and then take the, I almost dropped that. Line up the stamp underneath, and then gently lower it onto the block. Okay, so let's get rid of our little scraps and let's do some stamping. We're going to need, I have my grid paper out. What did I do with it? There it is. I've been using, I'm trying to be better about grid paper. I really like this small grid paper pad. I think it is just the right size when you have a lot of stuff on your desk, like I usually do. I like having just a little small grid paper. The big one is, I think, 11 by 17, and this one is 7 inches by 7 inches, maybe 7 1/4. So we're going to use the stitch circle, and we're going to stamp the leaf, and it has some really great variation in the color on the leaf of this distinctive stamp. So I want to add and kind of highlight those differences in the shading there. So I'm going to start by inking this in pumpkin pie, and because the whole thing is not going to fit on the circle, I'm not worried about getting like all the edges, you know, of the little seedlings here. So I'm just concerned about the leaf. Now I'm going to take Cajun Craze, and I have a little sponge dauber, and so I'm just going to sponge some darker color on the outer edges of the leaf stamp. Okay, so I did that before I stamped. So you want to ink the lighter color, sponge the darker color, cross your fingers and your toes, and let's see how it turns out. Oh, you know what? I was really hoping for a little more variation in the color there. Maybe I needed to be a little darker with my Cajun Craze. You know what? Let's try another technique, and if we like it, we can die cut another circle. So another way that you can add some different colors on here, and maybe the colors just aren't different enough, the pumpkin pie and the Cajun Craze. But let's try the rock and roll technique. Have you guys done this one? Rock and roll is where you ink in a lighter color, and then you take your darker color and you kind of just rock and roll it directly onto the stamp. So let's see what we get with this. Ooh, I love that. We have a lot of Cajun Craze going on, but we do have some of the pumpkin pie in there as well. I'm going to try one more time. I'm first trying to get a lot of the extra ink off so I don't get any dark ink on my pad. Honestly, it would be best just to get the chamois and clean it. Where did that chamois go? Ironically, my desk is pretty clean right now. I cleaned up my stamp room today because I had someone over who was filming a little bit, and we're working on a presentation for Vacation Stamping School. I'm not going to tell you anything else, but I wanted to clean up my room, and so I had a lot of things to tidy up. Well, you know what helped me to tidy? I was telling Mom that I did a little bit of rage cleaning. I know that sounds so funny to say, but I had a very frustrating phone call with a customer service agent, not a Stampin' Up person, but I ordered a picture from Thomas's graduation, and it was a digital image, but we still haven't gotten it. And it's been 18 business days. And this digital image was supposed to take 3 to 5 days to process the touch-ups. Well, it's been, like I said, 18. And so I was getting kind of frustrated. Oh, we got it all resolved. I got the image minus the touch-up. I just gave it a little huff to re-ink a little bit. I actually think I like that one better because you don't see a lot of the Cajun craze. I'm getting distracted by talking. Anyway, I had a very frustrating phone call for 25 minutes. It took 25 minutes to like get through to this person. And so after that, I was like just getting all my frustration out on my desk. I cleaned it. I did rage cleaning. I don't know if that's really a thing, but that's what I did today. All right, well, I like this one better. So we're gonna die cut that with the Stylish Shapes. This is such a great die set. It's brand new in the annual catalog, and it's got stitched circles, stitched squares, and stitched banners. So if you don't already have a stitched shape die set that you love, then this is a really great one to add to your collection. If you do already have a stitched shape die set that you like, this one may not be all that different from what you already have. So I'm going to die cut this. Oh, that looks so lovely. I like that. We're going to move our cutting machine to the shelf behind me. And let's get this card. Let's get this card going. Move some things over, move our pieces back in. Okay, so we're going to add the designer paper to the base of the card. And this card had a lot of angles going on. Angles are always optional. If you don't like your angles, you can put your cardstock on straight. That is always okay. I kind of like the angles. I think it adds a little bit of something to the card. I'm going to use the Cajun Craze to stamp hello. Oh, I like that. And I feel like there is just enough room to add a little bling. Now, do you notice I got a little bit of seedling right there? Well, how about I just angle that so I can cover it up? Then you won't even know. You won't even know that it's there. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the circle. And line that up, and then Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the hello. And really, I think we just need one, and then some regular adhesive. And let's put this right there on the card. And I think we have just enough room for a little, maybe like a sequin. Let's see what we've got. I'm thinking that the seasonal sequins would be lovely. Or, we have the Leaf Label and Amber Gem Combo Pack. This is new in the July through December mini catalog. And I think that is perfect right there. Now I'm kind of wondering if I needed to include another leaf on there. But you know what? This is staying true to the original inspiration. Let's bring that back out and see what we think. I know it's one of these tabs. I just don't know which one. Let's see. Oh, that Perched one is so gorgeous. Okay. Here's the original inspiration with the apple and my version with the leaf. Ooh, I kind of like it. Yay! Oh, I think it is just fine as is. I don't think it needs anything else. I really like the way that turned out. Okay, so I hope that you will try casing the catalog where you copy and selectively edit. If you don't have the apples, you can still be inspired by the apple card. If you don't have, the designer paper, you can substitute something you already have. Sometimes as demonstrators, we get kind of all caught up in feeling like we need to have everything new and use things that, you know, are just like the catalog sample, but I encourage you to use what you have at home. Use your designer paper, use the embossing folder you have. It's probably close enough. And you can make beautiful cards. You don't always have to have everything that's brand new. And I always do use a lot of brand new stuff because I want to show you. I want to show you all the new stuff and show you what we got. But I know you guys have leaves at home. If you don't, then Soft Seedlings is a lovely stamp set to get, but you can do this with any of the leaf stamps that you have at home, any of the embossing folders, any of the designer paper. So why don't you give this a try? Case this card, case that apple card right there on page 54. I would love to see how you make a version of this card. So you can share your cards in Julie's Stamping Spot Share and Connect group on Facebook. But let's keep moving on. We have finished that one. Let's see what other tabs we have and what other cards we can make. Oh, that one was good with the Halloween. One of my favorite ones that I have had my eye on, I'm going to have to go across the room to get stuff though, is this one. I don't know what it is about this card. I love the designer paper and the bright colors. I love the combination of the stamps and the dies. And so I was trying to figure out where that Merry Christmas came from. Because it's not in the die set and it's not in the other one. So I took a look at that list, that mini catalog supply list, and I'll share the link in the video description when we're all done. I looked it up, and guess what? That Merry Christmas came from the Santa Express Memories and More pack. Let me show you where that is in the catalog. The Santa Express Memories and More pack. You can find it back here on page 83, but it's also on page 17 with the rest of that suite. And this, I have to say, I'm not a big fan of the suite. I think it's the cartoon characters, but you guys know I don't love to color. Like, so the apple stamp set was another example. Like, I don't love to color. That one's not on my radar. This one, it's too much coloring, but I do love the Memories and More card pack because it has everything colored for me. So let me show you really quick what comes in this. The Memories and More card packs are intended to be for pocket memory keeping and more. That's how they got their name. So pocket memory keeping, the pockets usually are 3 inches by 4 inches or larger 4 by 6, like for photos. And so these Memories and More cards have small cards and large cards, and the cards are designed for you to use on a card or in a little pocket scrapbook. And so a lot of the cards, at least one side will have like journaling lines, but there's also sentiments that are really great for making cards or other gifts. So we've got places to write, but also if you want to make cards, things to make cards with. Look at the Santa. There's some more journaling lines back there. I just love the colors. I love the bright designs, and I love how you can use the cards and just create things for all occasions. So we've got some more, again, like perfect to just put on a card or, you know, to use in your scrapbook. There's our Santa on the train. There's another one for journaling back there. And then we've got some larger cards, and those are 4 by 6. So they also fit into those pocket scrapbooking pages. Look at, I just love all these great colors and designs. And then the back sides, Dear Santa. Oh, I love that. Okay, so many different ways to use this. Another place to journal here. But the other great thing about the cards is that it usually comes with some extra pieces. So this is kind of like the wooden elements, except I feel like it's just more of like a really heavy cardboard. And so that's where the Merry Christmas came. I'm gonna try to really carefully remove this. Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid I'm gonna break it. So this is where the Merry Christmas came from. It is a laser cut greeting from this Memories and More card pack. feel like there's gotta be a better way. Ah. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. I'm not sure. Can you see like the thickness on this? It is pretty thick, so it's pretty heavy duty. Ooh, is it sticky? I don't think it is. I thought maybe it was. That would be really amazing if it was. I think it's just like the coating. Is it sticky? Hold on. Nope. Okay, so you don't want to forget the little eye in there. And your take your pick tool has the pokey end and the flat end. There's also a stylus attachment. I'm not sure where my stylus attachment is, so let's put the pokey end on. Just flip those, unlock it, and we're gonna gently poke out that. Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose that. Gently poke out that eye. Oh, that sounds funny. Poke out somebody's eye. Oh, I have to say, a lot of times I get these Memories and More card packs, and I don't always make cards with them, or I don't always use them. Now, are you guys a fan of the Memories and More cards? Leave a comment and let me know. Oops, I don't want Celebrate. I want the Merry. Let's come back up here. The other component to the Memories and More card packs is the card pack. And I do have to say, this Memories and More card pack has some really cute coordinating envelopes. And I got the envelopes when the catalog first came out, and I kind of was like, I'm not going to get the cards, and I ended up caving. Before I show you those cards and envelopes, though, let's see the other pieces in this Memories and More card pack. So we have 2 sticker sheets that have the countdown numbers, one for every day in December. So you can use this to create a countdown calendar or little gift packaging, you know, if you're doing like an advent calendar. And then some border stickers, some tags, and then these are little acetate pieces that have white printing on them. So this one says Merry and Bright. This says it's the most wonderful time of the year, ho ho ho, and then snowflakes. So many fun pieces. I love all the specialty pieces in this card. So let me show you those cards and envelopes. You get 20 cards and 20 envelopes. There's 2 different kinds. There's the polka dot and just the plain green. And so you can create some gorgeous cards just with some simple layering like this, and you can bling that up or just keep it nice and simple. So the 4x6 cards fit on these cards and envelopes just perfectly. You can use the big ones, you can use the little ones, and you know, you can add all kinds of things. You know, layer several cards together. I thought it would be really fun to use those snowflakes. I got them out. What did I do with them? Doot, doot. Here we go. They're already buried. Look at these snowflakes. You can dress up your cards and envelopes with the snowflakes. And then I thought you could just add a little card. Let's find one that has a little more contrast. Ooh. There's the white border with the snowflakes. So easy. I kind of love that. Isn't that cute? What else do we have? Joy and peace and love. That was the Merry Christmas. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Oh, I like that green against the polka dot. Okay. Quick and easy cards. I think it was like this. Like that. So cute. Let's glue this down really quick. Isn't that cute? Does this one need snowflakes too? Yay! Oh, Mary says that she just ordered these cards, or the card pack. I think it's so much fun. It's hard to see those. They don't really stick out, although you can color these. And so you could color that and then add it on there. I don't know right now without it being colored. Honestly, I think it looks good just like that. Oh, that's really cute too. I'm gonna stick it on there. I know it's kind of simple, but then you gotta bling it up. That's how you dress it up. All right, we can add some of the sequins. This is the seasonal sequins, and they coordinate beautifully with the Santa Express designer paper and with the note cards and envelopes. So we can add some bling to our card. Maybe some green ones too. I love that. Oh my gosh. So quick and easy. And then this one, this one might be my favorite. Let's get a little adhesive on the back of these snowflakes. And we're gonna add one in each corner. And then we'll add our card in the middle with Stampin' Dimensionals. Where did our dimensionals go? Here we go. I love quick and easy cards. How many cards do you send for Christmas? If you're sending a whole bunch, then quick and easy cards like this one are a perfect way to get your cards made and to send some handmade happiness to your friends and family. You could add bling on this one too if you wanted to. So since we have them out, let's do that. Oops, the sequin came right off the glue dot. On this one, I'm going to add 3. We always talk about doing 3 things in odd numbers. So I have 5 sequins on the first card and 3 on the second card. Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay. I wasn't even really intending to do that. And then they just kind of came together. I love it when that happens. Okay. So Memories and More. That's where we got the Merry Christmas. This is coming along. We're going to get this. We're going to make this happen. Let's put this aside. And let's flip back to our card that was inspiring us. We were taking a look at this card with the Christmas Lights bundle. So should we make that one really quick? I kind of feel like let's do it. So I'm going to go grab the Christmas Lights bundle so that we can do some die cutting and some stamping. And we're going to switch it up, I think, and use some different designer paper. And how about some gold foil? I think this is glitter paper, but I like the gold foil instead. So let's get out the Lights Aglow paper. Uh-oh. I'm trying to find that stamp set. I had it out earlier. And what did I do with it? I found it. Oh my goodness, the Christmas lights. You know what? From the side, it was so light I couldn't really see. I really couldn't see that. Okay, I see your question, Tony. Is this with your VSS stuff? VSS stands for Vacation Stamping School. And yes, the Lights Aglow designer paper is included in the Vacation Stamping School swag box. So if you're signed up for Vacation Stamping School, which is a demonstrator training event coming up in just a couple weeks, then you will get a package of this paper in your swag box that will be mailed next week. Woohoo! Are you guys excited about vacation stamping school? I really am. Okay, so I'm going to change up the colors. We're going to use some of this designer paper. I really like this one with the bokeh or bouquet. How do you say it? Bokeh or bouquet? I've heard it both ways. It's spelled B-O-K-E-H, and just such a pretty effect. So it's made to look like lights, right? Like twinkling lights. So we're going to use this piece, and we're going to stamp, with dark green, maybe the Evening Evergreen. And we're going to do some die cutting as well. So this die set has a die cut for the tree, and it has a die cut for the sort of strand of lights, and it also has this detail die, and you can die cut these at the same time, the outline and the and sort of the inside detail. So you can either just do the stamp image like this, or you can do them both to add some extra detail. So let's do them both. And I'm thinking maybe, I'm totally not ready for this card, but we're going to make this happen. I want to emboss in gold on the Evening Evergreen. I think that would be really pretty. And then we're going to do some stamping and some die cutting and gold paper underneath. I'm getting out, I have a whole bag of paper with different metallics. Some of them are old. I think we still have gold foil though. So I'm going with some gold, and we're going to cut our paper. Sorry, I dropped out. I bent over and I was looking for I think I have a card base already cut in the Evening Evergreen. Kind of making this one up as we go, guys. Okay, so for our designer paper, we are going to do, I'm going to guess, let's see, this is 4 1/4 wide. We got about a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to say, maybe it's like a 1/4 inch on each side. So I'm going to say 3 3/4 inches by 4 1/2. I'll have the final measurements in the video description when we're all done. Hey, that looks about right. So I'm going to do, the gold paper is going to be about the same. What did I say? 3 3/4 inches by 4 1/2. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up just offsetting this just like it is here. So we're going to go like that. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love this so much already. Okay, we're going to do some stamping and die cutting of the tree. So I'm going to get out a piece for the tree, and I need to set up my heat tool and some heat embossing. Oh my gosh, have you guys done heat embossing? We're going to set this aside just for a second. And we need some more stamps. We're going to use this one with the stars and also our big tree. So for the big tree, we're going to use a big block. This is block E. And for this one, we need a long block. This is block I. I have another long block. Let me show you that one really quick. This is probably the one I use the most. Not the most, but when it comes to long blocks. This one is H, and I is like a lot bigger. So this stamp is a little bit too long for the H block, so it needs a bigger block, the I block. Okay. All right, so let's do our stamping first, and then we'll do some die cutting. This is going to take a couple passes to die cut because we're using this die and we're going to die cut. We probably are going to want, I would say, at least 3. So we're going to stamp and then we're going to die cut kind of like across. So it kind of looks like lights, right? Let's get out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Just gonna move it over onto the camera. And we're using the big one because this designer paper and the die is a little too small for or it's a little too big for our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now, if you've been thinking about getting this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the best time to do it is during celebration because you can get freebies during celebration, of course, when you order $50 or more. So we're going to send this back through. Just trying to think about where to put it. So essentially this die is just cutting holes, and the holes we'll be able to see that gold cardstock through, and they'll kind of shine and sparkle like lights. We're going to do one more. I'm going with odd numbers here and doing the sets of 3. I think this is going to look really festive, like a fun party. Okay, we're going to set that aside for now, but we'll get it back out when we do our tree. So now when we put it on the gold, oh, look at that sparkle. That is so pretty. The original catalog sample had it on a red glitter paper, and so that would be really pretty too, and you could see still a different kind of sparkle through it. I really like the gold though. I think that's lovely. So next up, we're going to do some heat embossing with the tree. So for this, we need a Versamark ink pad, our heat tool, ooh, our new embossing accessory pack, and we need some embossing powder. This one is so old. Oh my gosh. I think I've probably had it for 20 years. We're pretty close to it. I'm looking to see if I have any newer containers of gold, and I don't think I do. I think it's time for a new gold. But here's the great thing about embossing powder is that you can still keep using that powder over and over again. It doesn't go bad. I'm going to go around to the other side of my desk and plug in the heat tool so that we can heat emboss. And we are going to use our embossing buddy to wipe the cardstock. This is just going to kind of help any stray ink or oil from my hand and keep the embossing powder just on the stamped image. So we're going to stamp the tree in Versamark ink. And then we're going to use the gold embossing powder and sprinkle over it. First, I'm going to try to get all the lint out of my, I'm going to use my shirt, all the lint out of the tray because I don't want all this dust and lint to go in with the embossing powder. I'm going to set my cardstock down inside the tray, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle the embossing powder on. You can see, obviously, I have some other lint in there, some little die cut pieces that were probably my last tray. And give it a little tap. So the embossing powder is sticking to the Versamark ink, and the embossing putty is helping to keep it from sticking to everything else. We can unscrew our lid and funnel the embossing folder back into the jar and use it again. Now, I probably don't have another 20 years worth of embossing powder left in here. If you're buying embossing powder right now, which it might be on my next order, it now comes in packages. So you can either get the basics, or you can get the metallic embossing powders. So the metallic comes with silver and gold and copper, and the basic comes with black and white and clear. So you're going to get, you're going to get some different size jars. They're a little bit smaller, so probably won't last you 20 years. I guess it depends on how much embossing you do. So we're gonna put the cap back on our tray and put the lid back on. And now we can do some heating. The other thing that comes in this embossing accessory pack is these awesome tweezers that have ceramic tips so that you don't melt the tweezer tips and they don't get too hot. So we're going to hold that with the tweezers and then use the other hand to use the heat tool and heat it. There are two settings here. There's 1 and 2. One's a little faster. And you're just kind of going to heat it until you see the powder melt. And it's really cool with the metallic powder because it gets shiny and you can really see the difference. Once it is melted like this, then you don't need to keep heating it. So once it turns, then it's done. It's a lot easier to tell with the gold or metallics than it is sometimes with the black or the white. It's a little bit harder to tell when it turns. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. All right, so now we've got that embossed. Now we're going to bring out our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we are going to die cut the image that we just stamped on. So let's get that back out, and we'll send this through so the outline matches up with the image, and then the detail, you can kind of line up the snowflakes in the middle too. Now, unfortunately, our magnetic plate, there was some problems with the manufacturer when they were doing the big run of them. The magnetic plates were coming apart, like the layers were coming apart and weren't staying together. So if you ordered it, Stampin' Up! Has refunded your money, and you can order something else. I'm not sure if and when they'll be able to fix it. This was already the second iteration of the magnetic plate. So I'm just going to use some Post-it sticky notes to kind of hold it down. You could also use like our masking paper or washi tape or something like that, just to hold the dies in place as you're die cutting. So we're going to die cut out our tree, and then we'll be able to start putting our card together. I'm seeing a little change, but I think we're gonna leave ours the way it is. Oh, look! Oh my gosh. Look how pretty. Now, it didn't quite get all of the holes. Where did that take your pick tool go? Oh, my desk is getting messy. Oh, I just had it. Have you guys seen it? I want to do some more poking. There's the lid. Oh dear. Take your pick tools running around without a lid on. I guess it's not running around. It doesn't have legs. I hope it doesn't fall off roll right off my table and onto my bare feet. That would not be good. While I'm looking for it, let me point out where the embossing toolkit can be found in the holiday catalog. It's on page 49. I called it the holiday catalog, but you guys know it's the July through December mini catalog. We used to have a fall catalog that was called the holiday catalog, and so I always get it mixed up. But here it is right here, the Embossing Additions Toolkit. I'll have the item number in the video description so you can find it in my online store. But there it is, 159971. If you're just getting started with embossing and just learning how to do that, that's a really great toolkit to have on hand. All right, I found my Take Your Pick tool. Take Your Pick tool. I knew that I would if I just uncovered a few more things. So I'm just getting the rest of the hole. See how some of these didn't quite poke all the way through. So you can kind of see that. I just love that. So we're going to put it on onto the cardstock so you'll be able to see like the twinkling. I think it's really cool. So let's start layering because our card's really coming together here. We had some fun techniques with the stamping and the embossing, and then the heat embossing. I said that already. Where's our adhesive? Let's just grab another one. Okay, so for the first part, we're just going to do some simple adhesive with the Stampin' seal. And this layer is offset just a little bit. So you're going to have, the papers are the same size, so you just have one corner that's kind of sticking out with the gold foil. And this is going to go in the center. Yeah, I'm going to turn that over. The reason I turned it over, sometimes there's like a little lip there, how it's, I like the front to be a little longer than the back instead of the other way around. Okay, so that's going to go in the front. And I have to say that's really gorgeous just as it is. We're going to add our embossed tree, and I want to do it on Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I'm going to. I was debating because we're also going to use our little Merry Christmas, and that has kind of some dimension to it, but it'll be okay. This will be a very, very dimensional card. All right, now for this, I'm going to use some of the liquid glue and just, oh, wow, that came out fast. Let's wipe a little bit of it off there. You just want a little bit, goes a long way on this liquid glue. So I'm just I'm not even trying to squeeze. I'm just trying to touch, just kind of touch and get some of the liquid glue out. So this is going to go across the tree. We have Merry. And then Christmas. We're not going to lose that I. I've got my eye on the I dot. And just kind of dotting that glue around. And then Christmas. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Scoot it just a little bit. With the liquid glue, I just kind of hold it down a little bit. And then here's a great use for that Take Your Pick tool again. Let's put a lid on this before I poke myself. We're using the putty end to pick up. Do you see that little tiny dot from the eye? I just saw the question pop up. Where did the Merry Christmas come from? Heather, it's from the Santa Express Memories and More card pack. Okay, so I got the putty holding the eye, and I just need to like knock it off the putty now. So I'm going to wear those tweezers. That'd be good too, right? Oh, just trying to get that in place and then leave it there. Okay, it's not staying well. This is so teeny tiny. Get on there. Oh, my fingers are too fat. Ah, I almost had it. Okay. Oh, I got it on there, but then it was in the wrong place. It was like above the the R instead of the I. Okay. Ta-da! Oh my gosh! I love this! I love this so much. Let's bring back the catalog inspiration and we'll see how we did and which one you like better. So we are casing the catalog tonight. We were inspired here on page 73 of the July through December catalog. And I used the same Merry Christmas from that Santa Express, but I just changed up the colors. And so I did a little bit more traditional, I'd say, with like the dark green and the gold instead of the glitter paper. But otherwise, it's the same card, isn't it? Now, if we wanted to, we could add some bling to this card. We had some of these sequins out earlier. These would be really gorgeous to add. Kind of want to put one right up here. Oh, yes, I like that. In fact, I think I'm just going to do that one. Now, there are some festive pearls that are part of this suite, but I know for a fact that I've already used all my gold ones. So if I hadn't, then I would probably use the gold ones from that. I'm adding a Stampin' Dimensional to the back to just get that to sit down. Oh my goodness. I love the way it turned out. Yay! Yes, I'm just catching up on your comments. And Tony, yes, right at the top, right there. That's just so perfect, isn't it? I love those seasonal sequins. Okay, how are we doing on time? We have already made quite a few cards. We're casing the catalog and we made both of these cards that were inspired by the mini catalog. We also made some cards that weren't necessarily inspired by the mini catalog, but we used some Memories and More cards and envelopes and the cards to create some simple Christmas cards. What do you guys think? Should we make one more card or should we call it a night? Now, let's see. Given the choice, I think I know what you're going to say. I think I know. You're going to say, let's make another card. Okay. Twist my arm. Let's take a look at that catalog really quick. Let's take a look at some of our inspiration tabs and see what moves us. What can we make really quick to finish off the night? We just did that one. We can take our tab off now. We were looking at the Halloween card. Trick or Treat, You Are So Sweet. Ooh, that might be a good one. Okay, so Halloween or, we could make this one. I'd have to go find my dies. The Perched in a Tree. My dies are perched somewhere in my stamp cabinet. I don't know about that one. We already used the snowflakes, so let's see what else we got. Or something with this layout. I don't have the stamp set, so I'd have to switch it up. But that could be an easy card. Okay, so you guys have to vote now, okay? So I started in the opposite direction. Our choices are, one is Halloween. Where did it go? Da-da-da. Well, that was two. It must be right here. Okay, one is Halloween, this card here. Or number two is Perched in a Tree. Or number three is the Holly Jolly layout. You guys are going to be really torn on this. I see a couple Perched. I see a couple Halloweens. I see another Perched, another Halloween, another Perched. I know, isn't that a great layout, Heather? Another Halloween or a second vote for the Halloween. Okay, I'm going to go on my stamp shelf and I'm going to grab, I'm going to try to grab both. Okay, so you guys keep voting and let's see what we can come up with. I wasn't sure, but I did find my Aspen tree dies. So we can do either one. let's see, perched, perched, perched. Oh, that's a lot of perches. Perch, 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 Halloween, perch, Halloween, 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 perch, perch, perch. One was Halloween, 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 Halloween. Oh, you guys, you're really torn. I promise whichever one we don't do tonight, I will do another time. So let's do perched in a tree. I just think this is so gorgeous. So for this one, we're going to use some white cardstock. We're going to do a little sponge daubing, which we did earlier on another card. Well, we tried to. It didn't turn out well. So we're going to do some light smoky slate on that. The gold. Ooh, the gold is this really pretty paper. It is from the annual catalog. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? This is the Distressed Gold 12 by 12 paper, 159237. And so we're going to die cut some leaves from this paper. And then also some from, that looks like Pool Party to me. And if I had that whole 106 page document with the recipes, I could double check, but this looks like mint. And so I'm going to say that other one is Pool Party. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, Tony gave me an official count and there were actually more Halloween than Perched. I'm kind of surprised. From my initial count, I really thought it was the other way around. So, I'm sorry, Halloweeners. I promise we'll do some Halloween soon. Yes, this paper is so gorgeous. And I have to say, it's really thin. It's not very thick. So, it's really easy to die cut and really easy to create with. It's a 12 by 12 paper, so you can create some gorgeous cards and cut it down to whatever size you need. Okay, for this one, we're going to need some white cardstock. We also have a little bit of blue back there, which I think is from the Splendid Day designer paper. So the Splendid Day is that really shiny one. And we used this in another video a couple weeks ago. I think I've got several of the same sheets. So I think this designer paper is this one. So maybe we'll get a little bit of that out for the background. Tripping on stuff. We're going to use some thick basic white cardstock for the front of the card, like for the card base, I guess I should say. And then for the card front, we'll use a regular piece of basic white, and we're going to do some, let's do some die cutting. So this is going to go from the front piece. Let's bring our die cutting machine back in here. We're also going to die cut those leaves. And these leaves are so great. There's not any leaf stamps in this bundle, just the leaf dies. Oh, look at the detail on this. I'm so excited. We also have lots of other little pieces that we're just going to toss. Okay. I got a lot going on here. Let's see if we can make it happen. I'm using a paper cutter to trim down the gold, so we can have our leaves. And I also need a piece of Pool Party. I guess we have to do one at a time. So let's do the gold first, send that through. So there are no stamps in this one, but these detailed dies with the leaves are just, oh, so gorgeous. Check out the detail. It has the veins that sort of emboss on there. Just really beautiful. Okay, so we got the two leaves in gold, and then we're also going to do the leaves in Pool Party. Oh, you can see the detail even better on the solid color cardstock. So I don't think to use Pool Party on a fall card, but it really works. We're going to bring our paper trimmer back in and we're going to die cut the designer paper down to 4 by 5 1/4, which is the same as our white cardstock. So that's going to layer just perfectly behind it. But before we layer those together, we're going to do a little bit of sponging with a sponge dauber. Actually, before I get rid of the paper trimmer, let's do a quick score line. I always score my cardstock, don't you guys? I'm sure you do too. Okay, what happened to the grid paper? Here it is. We're going to do some sponging. I'm getting out my sponge daubers. I don't know if I have any clean ones, but my blue one is pretty clean as far as coming on the paper. So I'm going to use this one for our smoky slate color. So for this, we're just going to add some just kind of sponging and burnishing. You have to be careful. This is a very delicate die cut. I'm trying to highlight some of these spots on the trees that have like the extra little detail. Just a little bit of color on these birch trees. How's that look? Maybe a little darker? I love it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can keep going or you can stop, however you want to do it. It looks like the sample in the catalog has quite a bit of color on it, but we're going to stop there. We're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and I'm going to use little ones and big ones. So I'm going to start in the corner. Oh, Carol, I just saw your comment. Amazing how quick you make these cards. Sometimes I can be quick. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking a really long time, but a lot of them have been kind of brewing in my head for a while. You know, I've been thinking about what I would need and, you know, how I would make it or what I would change. So even when I'm cutting, I've thought about it beforehand, and it's not always just totally off the cuff. I mean, sometimes it is. Okay, lots of Stampin' Dimensionals. I want this to feel nice and elevated above the designer paper. And you know what, actually, before I do that, I'm going to put the designer paper onto the card base. Oh, this is going to feel so just... I was going to say wintry, and that's kind of the idea, but there are leaves on it. So it's sort of that, like, you know, November time where it's like, it falls kind of over, I guess more like December. Falls over, but it's just starting to snow. Although I know some of you live in areas where it snows like in October. So you get snow a lot earlier. But here, honestly, in Illinois, we have had snow on Halloween before. It's rare, and it usually does not stick, but our good snow usually isn't until January, honestly. I love to have a white Christmas, but I feel like we don't often have a white Christmas in Illinois, in central Illinois. Oh, look at that dimension. This card is so gorgeous. making a mess. Okay, we have our leaves now. And so the leaves are going to kind of be clustered here like this. We're going to add some twine. And we have a couple options for twine. We have the basics or the, essential baker's twine pack, or we just have linen thread. And the linen thread is really kind of similar in color to the crumb cake in here. This kind of goes with the gray. So let's use some of that gray. I'm gonna keep that out, put this away. I have a lot of old twine in there too. Okay, so the last thing we need is the sentiment. And the original card, I'm sticking to something, here we go. The original card uses crumb cake with some white embossing, but since we used the smoky slate, I feel like we should use smoky slate again. So let's get out a scrap of that. Oh, lovely, lovely. Oh, this is a good sentiment. I haven't used my stamps in this one yet. It says, no matter the season, I am here for you. Isn't that a great sentiment? I love that. Who would you send this card to? Who would appreciate the work and the beauty of this card? Leave a comment, let me know. Do you have a friend that you love to stamp with, or a family member who just loves your cards and loves getting cards from you? Who in your life would love this card? Who would you send it to? No matter the season, I'm here for you. Well, we just got our heat tool out earlier, so let's go ahead and use it again for some heat embossing. So I'm going to cut this down, and I'm kind of estimating here on the size. Now, sometimes when I'm estimating on a cardstock size, I'll just kind of measure the stamp. So this is about 3 inches by 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut my cardstock to be about the same. I'm going to go maybe like 3 1/4 and just give myself a little extra. So let's go 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Another option is to emboss it first and then to cut it, but I prefer to cut ahead of time. All right, we're going to use white, and I really need to clean that tray from the gold before I put the white in there. I don't want to get gold in my white, so I'm going to just use my coffee filter because I already have it out. But I am going to definitely use the embossing buddy. Where's that embossing buddy? Sometimes my desk just gets covered. Okay, so embossing buddy on the cardstock, that's step 1. Step 2 is stamping with the Versamark. Step 3 is sprinkling on the embossing powder. Step 4, funnel the embossing powder back into the jar for another use. Step 5, heat. Oh, I'm reading all your comments about who you would send this card to. I love it. Oh, you can see the powder changing. It's like magic every time, isn't it? Oh, I just love that. I think it looks so crisp and clean to have the white on the crumb cake. I did stamp this in the corners so that I could do a little trimming. So let's just give it a little trim. Just a little bit off the side and a little bit off the long end. Perfect. gonna make a twine bow. Oh, sometimes it's easier than other times. So I like to tie it while it's on the spool. I find that I use less than if I cut it first. If I cut it first, then sometimes I just cut way too much, more than I need. Okay, we're ready for some assembly. We're using the Perched in a Tree bundle, and we're casing the catalog today. So we're making this card exactly as it appears in the January through June mini catalog. So we're gonna add some glue on the back of our leaves. One of these might end up needing, we might end up needing a little Stampin' Dimensional, maybe not. No matter the season, I'm here for you. Let's add this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. And we'll add our little bow. Just a little fussing on that to make it just right. Oh yes, perfect. We'll add that with the glue dot. Oh my goodness. The only thing I think I might do is add a little wink of Stella to the trees. Are you guys thinking the same thing? Oh my goodness. Wink of Stella is always the perfect addition to any card. Just a little sparkle. I'm not even sure how well you can see this. Can you see that in the light? A little bit of sparkle on the trees. I think it's time for a new week of Stella. Let's get a little going. Can you hear it? Ooh, it's like, I don't want any more to come out. Well, I can see it in person. I just don't think it's showing up well on camera. Is this a new one? It is a new one. Let's start the new one. Okay, so if you're getting Wink of Stella for the first time, you have to remove the black ring. And then once you do, the little outie piece there will poke through, and you can kind of see it right there. It pokes through the bottom chamber and will start that flow of ink. So you're going to give it a gentle squeeze. And then you can see it kind of float. Now, sometimes it starts with a big glob. So that's why I'm doing it on the scrap here so that I don't get a big glob. Oh, there it is. Okay. And so hopefully we'll be able to see it a little better now. Add that sparkle. Wink of Stella. Okay, can you see it a little better? Maybe you still can't see it. Well, it's pretty in person. I love the glitter Wink of Stella. Okay, let's get our catalog back in here so you can see. We pretty much just copied this card exactly. The only thing we changed up was the color for the sentiment. We used Smoky Slate instead of the crumb cake, but I kind of like the Smoky Slate better. I think the colors just sort of go well with the cool tone of the blue. And we've got that blue paper in the background as well. Oh my gosh, yes! I'm so glad you guys like this card. I love the way it turned out, and I'm so glad that you hung out a little more so we could make one more card. Well, let's review. Tonight we cased the catalog. In this case, we did copy almost exactly as the card in the catalog. But in the other cards that we made a few changes. We changed up the colors. In this one, we changed up the colors and the stamp sets completely. So whether you're casing by copying exactly or making it your own and changing by copy and selectively edit, I hope that you enjoyed the projects that I made tonight. I'll share the link for the supply list for the July through December 2022 mini catalog in the video description when I'm all done. So you guys can download this document. It's a PDF that's 106 pages. I don't necessarily recommend printing the whole thing, but if you have a project that you're looking at and you're trying to figure out what they used to make it, you can just look up the page number and maybe just print out a single page. And so this is what it looks like. It has just a list of all the supplies that were used to make each project. So you'll find a photo and a supply list for every single project in the July through December 2022 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. If you want to get any of the supplies to make any of these cards or any of those in the catalog, you can shop in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Right now it's celebration time, so you can get a freebie when you place a qualifying order of $50 or $100 or more. There's no limit. Make sure that you get your celebration orders in before the end of August because celebration ends August 31st, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you liked the projects tonight. Make sure to leave me a comment and let me know which of them is your favorite. I have so much more to share with you. Next week, starting Monday, will be my 12 Days of Christmas video series with a daily video on YouTube every day at 1 p.m. Central Time. So definitely make sure you go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of those fun videos. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again very soon for another paper crafting video. Have a good night.